Hi everyone, my name is Justin Matthew. I am from the University of North Texas in Denton. My major is Development of Family and Community Studies. Now, I really love to help students and teach them different lessons, and I love to help teachers plan for their lessons. Now, one thing I always see is teachers having issues with the lesson planning. And so I have created a presentation with a case study on home fire safety, based on the first grade. Now, as teachers here, some of the obstacles is actually being able to predict how the students interact, how interested they are, and hopefully this planning process will help us to know exactly what might happen in situations. It will help us evaluate different processes so that the students can actually learn and thrive. Now, one thing I want to share with you is a story about a teacher who had issues with lesson planning, and she wasn't always prepared. And so she decided to actually prepare a lesson plan for a whole week. And she had everything on paper. It looked perfect. But when trying to actually administer it, when actually trying to put it into play, it didn't work out because, well, the students are different. All the students are different, so one level isn't as the same as another. So one student can be in their high level of their education, and one can barely probably even read in that classroom. So in first grade, it's important to be able to make sure that all the students learn something and be able to get something out of a lesson and be interactive and have a lot of, especially playtime, because young kids need that playtime. So I want to start off with the 5 E's of lesson plans. Now, the 5 E's of lesson plans means this is basically the foundation of lesson planning. You first have engage, and then it's explore, and then you have explain, and then expand, and finally you have evaluate. Now I want to explain what engage means. Engage means you introduce the lesson to the students every day, especially the first day. You tell them what it's about. So for home fire safety, you would tell them, okay, this is what we're going to do on this day. We're going to go to the firehouse on this day. We're going to have firemen come on another day, and then we're going to make firehouse cookies. So this way that students can look forward to the classroom, and they can look forward and get interactive. And this way you can also give teachers and other parents the ability to come in and help within the classroom. Explore means exactly that. They have an opportunity to explore that environment or that situation. If we're talking about explore, especially in the fire home safety, we're talking about, okay, let's go explore the home. Okay, do we see anything that might be hazardous? Okay, let's go see the firehouse. So it entitles more field trips or more interactive, kinesthetic, and visual abilities and opportunities. When we're talking about explain, well, what did we see the other day? Okay, what did you see in that firehouse? Okay, why did this happen? So it entitles a lot of questions for the students, and it entitles discussion between students and the teacher. Now evaluate, or I'm sorry, expand. Expanding means, okay, let's do some project. Okay, how would you make your own firehouse? Or how do we make a fire engine? Or how do we, how does this happen? So what is the dogs like, the Dalmatians? And it's expanding on what you did on the last 2 days of exploring and explaining. So it's just expanding their horizons. And then the last is evaluate. Now when you're talking about evaluation, it's also evaluating the students if they understood the material, which means a lot of probably test taking of some type. It doesn't have to be multiple choice and fill in the blank kind of things, especially for first grade. Or it just depends on the teacher and what you see as fit. And take in mind that you might have to ask the principal on what kind of things that might be appropriate. So telling and asking your higher authority might be the way to go on, especially evaluation. But evaluation also means, how did I, as a teacher, perform this week in my lesson? What do I need to change so that when I present this lesson in the next year, I will be more prepared? Is there a way I can change certain things? Did the students actually learn something? Is this developmentally appropriate? So let's go into the lesson plan. One thing we have is basically a week at a glance. Okay, so what am I going to do this week? And it's like a brainstorm, and it's more of a quick web. That's what we would call it. And so it's so we have the music center, the art center, the manipulative center, the writing center, and the science center. And so these different centers entails different things. So for the music, you would have different songs, different activities with the music. The art center, you would make different things for art, such as the collage, making a fireman helmet. For manipulative center, you would have the blocks, and you would have things that they can play with, so that they can actually even this would be especially the time for play for them, so that they can do skits. Okay, I'm driving the big red truck, that kind of thing. So they can play around, but also explore. So it's a big part of exploration. The writing center, they'll be able to do vocabulary words, learn how to write essays and sentences, and write about their experiences. The science center, you can have different things that pertain to the science of home fire safety. So the fire alarms, how do they work? Or how does the fire engine work? Or the flashlights, how does flashlights work? Or what kind of senses are used when a fire happens? Okay, do I smell the smoke? Do I see the fire? Can I feel the heat? So different things that pertain to science. The next thing you would do is actually explain the materials within each center and what you would need to do. So for the math center, we have make 911 vests or safety vests, learn your address. So a math doesn't have to be what's 1 plus 1 plus 1, or what's 10 times 10. No, it can be just learning your address, learning your phone number, learning emergency phone numbers.